everyone, this is Arunava Chaudhuri. You can follow me under my social media handles arunfoot. Today I want to talk to you about news that came out of Leverkusen, which is about 30 kilometers down the road from here where I live in Germany. Xabi Alonso announced that he is going to stay another season at Bayer Leverkusen. Announcement on Good Friday, which was a great Friday for Bayer 04. Alonso, one of the most sought-after coaches in European club football. Liverpool are looking for a coach as Jurgen Klopp is set to leave the club. On the other side, Bayern Munich are getting rid of Thomas Tuchel at the end of the season. So an interesting scenario. Both of these clubs, former clubs of Xabi Alonso. And there's another one of his former clubs, Real Madrid, who just extended for another season with Carlo Ancelotti. So a lot of, desire to try and find the next big manager in European club football. Xabi Alonso, 42 years of age, a very distinguished career, started off at Real Sociedad, and then, as some people would say, the rest is history. Very successful at Liverpool Football Club, then goes on to play at Real Madrid, and then ends his playing career at Bayern Munich. In the meanwhile, also a Spanish international, part of a very, very successful, most probably the most successful Spanish football generation of all times, wins the World Cup, wins the Euros, and his coaches loved him at all the clubs. He was like the extended arm of the coach who used to have him, be it Pep Guardiola at Bayern, Jose Mourinho at Real Madrid, and others as well. What does someone like him do? After ending his career, he goes around, does a little bit of coaching here and there at Real Madrid, then joins Real Sociedad, but not as the head coach of the first team, but he coaches actually for 3 years, the B team. October 2022, he gets an offer from Bundesliga side Bayer Leverkusen, which he takes up. Earlier, he had turned down numerous offers from across Europe. Leverkusen at the time, struggling in the relegation zone. He takes them into European competition. And this season, Xabi Alonso has a great preseason, brings in some additional players with the sporting leadership at Bayer 04. And so far, Bayer Leverkusen, it's now April, unbeaten across all competitions. For them possible, they're leading with 13 points out of Bayern Munich, 7 matches to go in the Bundesliga. It's very, very likely that Vizekusen, as many people love to call them, could become finally champions of Germany. They are still in the German Cup, the DFB Pokal. They face local rivals Fortuna Düsseldorf, a Bundesliga 2 side, on Wednesday night. And then there's the UEFA Europa League, where they play West Ham United for a spot in the semi-finals. 3 trophies possible for Bayer Leverkusen, for a club which so far has won the UEFA Cup once in 1988 and the DFB Pokal in 1993. But why does a coach of his pedigree decide to stay in Leverkusen, where he's built a great team? Florian Wirtz being most probably the most talked about player in that squad. Jeremy Frimpong is there. He brings in a Grimaldo from Benfica, a rather older player, not that well known, who now suddenly is also even part of the Spain setup. Boniface comes in, fires for the team, gets injured. Patrick Schick comes in, takes over. He's got someone like Robert Andrich in defensive midfield. A warrior who's now even showing his class for the German national team. Jonathan Tah, the centre-back. A lot of problems over the years, a lot of talent, but has not always shown that. Other players as well, Palacios, Konesu, and Lukas Radecki at the back as a keeper. He has a team, and even when they've had problems, they are the comeback kings of the Bundesliga, as they showed over the last weekend against Hoffenheim. 2 late goals to turn a 0-1 deficit around to win it 2-1. He decides, so to say, to stay with this, to build this team, to go into the Champions League next season, and he will try to push Bayer Leverkusen further because most of the players that I've mentioned, most probably all of them, could stay at the club. But this has been seen critically by some experts and journalists who say, how can Xabi Alonso, with the football career that he's had in the past at Liverpool, at Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, turn down the opportunity to join either Liverpool or Bayern Munich? Liverpool, of course, the club era is going to end. That transition might not be as easy as a lot of people think, despite Klopp leaving behind a good squad. Bayern Munich, themselves in a transitional phase, have had a lot of managers over the last few years, even some very, very high-profile managers. So maybe, I think at least, it might be wise to stay another year at least at Bayer 04 Leverkusen and maybe build something really, really big. That's my take on Xabi Alonso and his decision to stay another season at Bayer 04. What do you guys think? Let me know. As always, like these videos, share the video, and of course, subscribe to arunfoot. That would be really, really nice. But also follow my other social media handles and arunfoot.com. And this is Arunava Chaudhuri signing off, and I'll be back very, very soon. Bye for now.